Hello there. So in the previous episode we changed the O2 sensor on bank 1. Unfortunately for me, the next day I drove the car and received a check engine light for the O2 sensor on bank 2. Now this was replaced a year ago, so I was expecting reliability and to not have any issues. The following day I decided to remove the engine cover and just make sure that everything was connected correctly and tight. I also made sure that everything was screwed in correctly and tightly, and just did a visual inspection of the whole area, and everything looks a-okay. So I'm going to have to bite the bullet and replace the O2 sensor that I replaced a year ago on the second position, which is bank 2. So we're going to head off outside now and we're going to replace the O2 sensor on bank 2. If you own a BMW, one of the most stressful times is when the engine management light appears. If you own a BMW over 100,000 miles or that's older than 10 years, I would highly recommend that you purchase a C-Reader by Launch. I have this Launch C-Reader 529, which is an OBD2 scanner that has been an absolute lifesaver working on my BMWs for the last year or so. I couldn't recommend any other C-Reader apart from this one. This has been absolutely terrific and has been able to diagnose every problem that I've had on my BMW. We're going to nip outside and I'm going to show you how to plug in this Launch C-Reader 529 into the OBD2 port and to diagnose the engine management light that is on my BMW. To diagnose the engine management light, we're going to open the driver's side door, and then here you have a cover of the OBD2 port. Then you just need to pull this out, and then you plug in the Launch C-Reader into the port. You should find that that activates the reader. You then want to enter your key into the ignition and then press on for the engine. You don't want the engine running, but you definitely want it on there. So that's off. That's on. And then you just want to select the diagnose option. That really is a nice cool breeze. And that's just finished. Click OK, and then back into the same menu option and scroll down to BMW. The fault code is not found in the database. Scroll to page 2. The fault code is not found in the database, so this is a P112D. Click OK and return. Then we're going to erase this. Click OK. OK. And that has been cleared now. I'm not going to show you how to remove the cowling, so there are some covers that need to be removed. I showed you how to do that in the first episode, so be sure to check that out if you want to know how to remove this engine cover. Now the engine cover is off, we have better access. This is the O2 sensor that we replaced a week or so ago, and to the left of that, beneath this metal plate, is the O2 sensor on bank 2. So this is a little bit harder to access. there are two metal plates that need to be unscrewed. There are two Torx screws. So typically this is a Torx, so you'll need the female version. And looking at this, we have a Torx Plus socket set that you'll need to remove the screws that are holding the two metal plates by the O2 sensor. Definitely an advantage to have small hands. Oh no, at least we've not lost that. So I've managed to loosen this screw, so I'm just removing that right now, slowly unscrewing that. Come on. So there we are. That is one of the Torx screws. So looking at this socket set to get the correct size, it is this one here. So it is the 8 EP size. So that is the Torx socket that's needed for the screw. It is an 8 EP. And now possibly the hardest part in this entire job, which is removing the second screw, which is all the way on the other side over here. Quite how I'm expected to remove that, who knows. Maybe I need to turn into Houdini. So this is my BMW E39, and looking at the engine bay, you can see this is the O2 sensor. That is the second O2 sensor. You can remove these in about 5 minutes. Now let's go to the E91. I've now wasted the best part of half an hour trying to dislodge this plate here, and the only explanation is that this has been engineered to frustrate, because you can't even pull this over. An absolute joke. The O2 sensor though is now visible, it's over there, so we're just going to continue trying to battle this obstacle course that was created by BMW engineering. Another must-have tool is a magnet. I have this magnet that's attached to this extension there, so this extends out. It's the ice cream van. So there you can see there's this attachment that's linked to the plate that had dropped, and luckily I have a magnet, so I've been able to find it. So the knack to loosening the second bolt is to go left-handed and to use the socket wrench and to get it in place with the left hand, and then once you've loosened it you should be able to unscrew it. Obviously I'm recording, so I'm just going to swap hands and the microphone, but this should be sufficiently loose now to remove. Finally, I've been able to remove the second screw. We'll just place that on there, and I'll see if I can remove this plate. What a palaver, really, what a kerfuffle to remove this. I really believe that this has been added simply to frustrate and annoy and agitate, rather for any engineering value. So now we can see the O2 sensor on bank 2. See if we can go over, which is this one here, and we should be able to use the lambda socket wrench to loosen that. The lambda socket wrench is in place. Now we just need to tap this with a hammer to loosen it. We'll apply a little bit of this. There you can see it has been lubricated. You need a little pick tool to just dislodge this from there, and then we just need to unclip this before we unscrew it. So that's there. And pull this through. Now this is sufficiently loose, so I can just unscrew this. Come on. And eventually it is out. This is the state of the O2 sensor. It looks pretty similar to the one on bank 1 that was in the car for the best part of 13 years. So it's difficult to believe that this was replaced only 12 months ago. We're also going to give this a quick clean, though if I'm honest, I'm thinking of finding the nearest lake and to hurl it into the center. That will make me feel much better. A little clean. This is what the metal plate looks like, and this is the replacement O2 sensor that we're just about to install. See, that comes with a plastic cover. That's all nice. Actually, it has some Loctite, and that is the old one. So we're just about to install this now. So we're just going to screw this O2 sensor, this new one, that goes into there. New O2 sensor is nice and tight. There's absolutely no way I can move that with my hand, so what remains is to thread this back through to the connecting point over there. So before I reconnect the metal plate, I'm just going to reattach this coolant reservoir and take the car out for a quick test drive. So the O2 sensor we've just replaced on bank 2 typically works by calculating the deceleration. So in order to know whether what we've done has worked, what you need to do is drive the car at 40 miles an hour or 50 miles an hour or 70 miles an hour, and then reduce your speed to 60 miles an hour, or from 50 to 40, or from 40 to 30. That typically precipitates the return of the check engine management light. So I've not been able to do it after half an hour's driving. I'm not going to return any of the fittings to the car. This is the mistake that I made at the last time round, where I've ended up having to remove the cowling and everything, and it's a pain in the backside basically to keep doing that. So we're going to leave all of that off for the moment, and then we're going to drive the car for a week or two, and then if there are no problems, then we can be absolutely certain that the problem is fixed. I've got a pretty good feeling. I know in my heart of hearts that the problem has been resolved. Ultimately, it has been down to a dodgy engine part. So we ordered a Bosch O2 sensor a year ago, and for whatever reason that hasn't had the durability. We've replaced it with another Bosch O2 sensor. Hopefully this will give us the best part of 10 years. If you're enjoying the content on this channel, please be sure to like, comment and subscribe. It really does help with the YouTube algorithm.